the roughest water on the course. Then around a tight turn at checkpoints 4 and 5, and back toward shore past checkpoint number 6, and then on to checkpoint number 7 and smoother water. Once again, the fleet will thrill the landside spectators right past the pier, completing a lap of just under 16 miles. The finish will be a full throttle, 2-mile sprint through the inner harbor. Each class must make a predetermined number of laps to complete today's race. 160 miles, 11 laps for Superboat and Open Class. 113 miles, 8 laps for Pro 1 and Pro 2.
This late in the season with only 2 more races to go for the National Driving Championships. Let's check out the Superboat points. Only 162 points separating the Spirit of the Amazon and Powerboat Marine. In the Open Class, 287 points divides Dirty Laundry with AES Motorsports.
And in the other classes at Pro 1 and Pro 2, it's a pretty big leg up for Agitator with the big lead over Lifestyles USA, the second-place boat, and there's the rest of the field. And Mercruz Urbana has a pretty good lead over Split Splash.
The celebrated actor Chuck Norris won this race last year on way to driving Popeye's Fried Chicken to a national title. Jim's with him now.
Down here with Chuck Norris, 1990 Superboat driving champion who misses, I think, the sport of OPT racing.
Oh, yeah, I do miss it. You know, I was filming until March of this year, so I haven't had a chance to really get back into the racing.
Have you kept kind of tabs on things? What's going on?
Oh, yeah, I've been talking to the guys, you know, my old team from last year, and seeing how things are going. And so I've been keeping track of the race this year.
What's the future hold for Chuck Norris as far as OPT offshore racing?
Truthfully, Jim, I don't know yet. You know, I'm doing the endurance runs right now with Drambuie, and I'm doing a run next month from San Francisco to LA to San Diego. And I'll just have to wait till next year to see. I've had some offers to drive for some of the teams, a new team in Las Vegas, but I don't know yet. Like I say, I'm going to hold off this year and just wait and see how things go, and maybe next year get back into it.
Boy, it'd sure be nice to see Chuck Norris back at the helm. Chuck will be in the place boat for this year's Long Beach Offshore Challenge, and we'll be back with the start of the race right after this. Art Ekman and Jim Hendrick, and welcome back to Long Beach, California. As the offshore fleet gets ready for action, Jim takes a look at this gorgeous city.
Long Beach, California, a beautiful city just south of Los Angeles. The home of the Spruce Goose, made famous by Howard Hughes, and of course the final resting place of the Queen Mary. Today, the peaceful sounds will be shattered by the sounds of OPT racing. Now let's take a look at this beautiful city. It's not only a beautiful city, it's a friendly city located just south of LA, very sports-oriented, with annual long-distance running events, the Long Beach Grand Prix Auto Race, and a variety of, well, sailing championships of all classes. Long Beach welcomes business people from all over the country with a brand new convention center, just part of a beautiful new downtown area. With miles of beautiful Southern California beaches and great year-round weather and friendly residents, well, Long Beach is just a great place to be.
Once again, Bobby Moore has done the near impossible. After losing all 4 engines, Spirit of the Amazon is making its way in the milling area.
Here's the lineup. It's Popeye's Diet Coke. Dave Hamill, Denny Hedja will team up. The Payless Car Rental Cobra, Richie Sapulo and Dan Campbell. Bud Dry, Ugo Colombo and Jeff Sofer in this boat. Gentry Turbo Eagle, it's Tom Gentry, of course, with the veteran throttle man John Connor. Circus Stephen Dorsich, John Bruno.
Rounding out the Superboat field, Powerboat Marine second in the points with Russell Wilkin and Jim Dyke. Then we've got Super Hawaii, Mark Beaver and Yoshiro Kitami. Our points leader, Spirit of the Amazon, Ike Batista's in Brazil with business obligations. Crew Chief Randy Robinson is behind the wheel. The campaign with Shell Roki and John Stenback. Little Caesars Pizza, Pete Markey and Trace Martin. Our final Superboat, Team Jaguar with John Armstrong and Jack Clark.
All right, Art, they're about to start, and look at this sight coming down to the starting line here in Long Beach, California.
Oh, it's one of the best starts so far this year. You see Circus the pink boat as we're on board with Russ Wilkin.
Boy, look at him, look at that side view mirror. He wants to know where everybody is. Bud Dry is over this boat as we are looking now at the start of the Super Boat class. What a beautiful sight, Art.
Oh, this is one of the best starts we have ever seen this year. There's Super Hawaii in the middle of your screen. Dan Campbell, another great start for the Payless Car Rental Cobra.
And look at Powerboat Marine come out right now. No fooling around along the Sandy Beach area here at Long Beach, California.
In San Diego, they got their long-awaited win. The flat water off San Diego Bay was to this crew's liking. Russ Wilkin behind the wheel now. He had a tremendous speed in that particular race. In fact, it was 112.3 miles an hour on the 6th lap in the last race.
You're looking at the compass, not the speedometer inside this boat, as we take a darn good look at what we're trying to do here. The leader, which is the Payless Car Rental, just ahead of the Powerboat Marine. We're inside the cockpit of that boat. Here's the turn.
And Payless Car Rental Cobra right out in front is doing it with substitute props. They dropped the last set of props in the Pacific in San Diego. They're about $2,800 worth of props down there somewhere.
Well, then get your mask and go try to find it. Not me, my friend. We're inside, of course, the cockpit once again. Look at the determination of the drivers, talking in his intercom in his helmet to his throttle man. And here we have 3 boats. It is Powerboat Marine up in between 2 of the leaders.
And those leaders are, right out on the bottom of your screen, is Payless Rental Cobra, and at the top of the screen now, Gentry making his big move.
The Payless Car Rental is starting to make a right turn. Here is Powerboat Marine. Just might get a little pinch between the Gentry boat. He does.
Oh, Jim, they went right through the wake and he got a shower. Russ Wilkin. He's not in the position he wanted to be in, and the look of disgust on his face shows us that.
Haha, this in-cockpit camera shows it all, doesn't it?
And there's Bud Dry making a move as well. Here comes Bud Dry to make a move on Gentry.
Jeff's over on the throttles now. We're going to change and see a challenge. Gentry to the left, Bud Dry to the right.
And right behind them is Circus making a move. Oh, what a first lap at great speed.
Fine OPT racing here on the waters off of Long Beach, California.
And Gentry is not actually in the lead as we take a look at this picture. The Campaign is now taking the lead. A 47-foot fountain, 3 1,100 horsepower Mercruiser engines.
The deep V's are coming on strong in rougher water. Yoshiro Katami is coming underneath to take the lead again. Another lead change. Let's go to Rich Lures up at Chopper 1.
This is amazing. We've seen about 4 lead changes in the first half lap in Superboat. Some to do with navigation, some to do with changing conditions, but great racing so far.
Thank you, Rich. The deep V's are doing well through the open swells of the Pacific Ocean. The open class is beginning to mill. They'll be starting in just a moment. We'll have it for you after this timeout.
Harold Smitty Smith. Line up, Jim.
All right, there are 6 open boats. As you said, Joe Mock and Smitty Smith in the Dirty Laundry. Excalibur, Bob Kaiser, Errol Lanier. Will they be ready today? Hyperactive, Tom Slameka, David Cutler teaming up. The only woman in the fleet today, Anna Delva, driving the Cigarette Hawk, Scott Lehman on the throttles. AES Motorsports, Fine Team, Alan Shapiro and Joey in Prussia. John Redmond and Skip Kreiner in the Ohio Steel.
And we're getting set for the start. Here is the start at Excalibur with Bob Kaiser and Errol Lanier way out in front. They've always had the speed, but they've had trouble staying off the attrition list. Then there's AES Motorsports. You see the white boat in second place. Dirty Laundry right where they want to be as far as the points chase is concerned. Ohio Steel is also in 4th. Ohio Steel taking a second in Chicago. You see him off to the right as Dirty Laundry starts to put on the throttle.
Look at the way these boats are riding as they just passed the pier on the first leg, looking for the first turn of competition. Look at the way the water kind of vaporizes in front of the Excalibur. Bobby Kaiser, Errol Lanier. The boat looks like it's trimmed perfectly.
Back to the superboats now. Dan Campbell and his Payless Rental Cobra really setting a hot pace here in the first lap. More than 121 miles an hour, almost 122 miles an hour. Tremendous. But the durability of Super Hawaii is moving up in second place now. Everything is seen dialed in for this crew. The course is really ideal for the Diesel's trademark, and that is reliability.
We're looking inside the Circus, currently in third place. These boats, the top three, have changed positions a couple of times. And look at this battle as Tom Gentry is now being challenged by the Circus. This 40-foot skater, fine hull. They match that power. They're going to be tough to beat, and they're proving their worth today.
Jim, and that's out in the rougher water as well. The lighter Circus doing an excellent job holding off Gentry's Eagle.
Back inside the Circus. We're over the throttle man area. Here is Gentry Eagle. Veterans of many, many offshore wars. Tom Gentry, his son Norm, is in there as the navigator, and John Connors is on the throttle. Looks like he's getting a pretty smooth ride as we go back now to the campaign.
That's a V-bottom, built for rough water, of course, but also a pad on the bottom makes it real nice in flat water. Here's the smallest boat in the Superclass field. Great shot of the Team Jaguar. They took a second place in the last race in San Diego.
Super Hawaii has now taken the lead in the Superboat class as the lead changes hands once again. But here comes Circus. Look at him. He's going to make a pass. Let's get it from upstairs. Let's go to Rich Lures. Rich.
Taking the lead at checkpoint number 7 with a strong move, display of horsepower and speed. And now Circus accelerates out of the turn. The turbocharged engines in there with extraordinary horsepower. Super Hawaii making a valiant effort to hang on, but Circus just pulling away.
Circus, a new leader. Boy, this they go down past the pier to complete lap number 2. A 16-mile lap, if you will. Average speed for the leader of Superboat, look at that. And Excalibur doing very well at 108. We've got lots more action coming from Long Beach, California after this timeout.
They had great speed at handling laps in the last race last week in San Diego, but a small part let them down. Will it hold together under these tremendous speeds? Great battle for second place. Dirty Laundry will continually have their eye on AES Motorsports. Rich Lures.
You can see Alan Shapiro getting impatient, wanting to get by Dirty Laundry. Throttles up, and that speeds up Dirty Laundry at the same time. Smitty Smith gives it a little more juice in an effort to hold him off. It's very, very close racing. The race for second in open class. Joe Impression and Smitty Smith, side by side. Alan Shapiro without much room on a steel turn buoy, but he managed to squeeze through and hold his position. Dirty Laundry using a lot of trim. But it doesn't get any closer than this. These guys could spit and hit each other.
Jim, the amazing thing is, at these speeds, no attrition and only 1 week to prepare between races.
That's amazing because they're really letting it hang out in the dry as we look at Alan Shapiro, Joe Impression inside the cockpit of AES Motorsports, battling for second place with the defending national champion, Dirty Laundry. Notice that the AES Motorsports this time around is on the inside. They've changed lanes. The Dirty Laundry, whose wake you see, now you see the boat, is on the outside.
And our leader in Superboat is Circus.
A 40-foot cat that is improving each race. Example, a similar hull, Powerboat Marine, won in San Diego last week, which pleases Stephen Dorsich.
I feel pretty good about that. It goes to show you power to weight ratio means something in this business.
Last week's race was very, very calm. Tomorrow they're anticipating a kind of a windy, choppy situation. Any changes in setup?
A little bit. We changed the wheels and did some tuning on the motors and readjusted the turbos. We did quite a bit in the way of preparing for this race. And I'm looking forward to doing well here.
And doing well they are, Art Edwin. And in second place, the Gentry Turbo Eagle.
I think it's interesting, Jim, that they're returning to the scene where his son Norm Gentry and John Connor hooked and sank the Gentry Eagle in the first turn of the first lap last year. Neither hurt, but what an exciting, spectacular crash that was.
And what an exciting battle we have for third and fourth right now on the inside to the lower left part of your screen. Yoshiro Katami is battling right now in Super Hawaii. At the top of your screen is the Powerboat Marine, another 40-foot catamaran-type boat, and he takes the lead and takes over third place. He being Russ Wilkin. Here is your fifth-place boat, Bud Dry, Hugo Colombo, Jeff Sofer.
And look at the hatches up. They've had a small problem, a small fire under that left engine hatch, and they're just hanging on, trying to stay in this race.
This is also a similar boat to the Powerboat Marine and the Circus Circus. Here's the battle. Goliath and David, the top of your screen, the smallest boat in the fleet of superboats. Team Jaguar battling this big 50-footer Spirit of the Amazon. The Amazon, of course, having problems last week. 4 engines cooked. They're just running for points today. They're not up to snuff to par, but they are showing a competitive spirit. As we go back to the open class, and again, that battle for second place. The red boat is the Dirty Laundry. Looking at AES Motorsports, coming in on him again.
Those two in the wake of Excalibur out in front. AES Motorsports edging out in front of Dirty Laundry, taking second place. This could have major ramifications in the points race.
There's your leaderboard, Excalibur averaging over 102 miles an hour. The rest of the field in line. Circus Circus, almost 111 miles an hour. We're going to take an inside look at one of the top competitors in just a moment.
Lead Assistance, official personal Offshore Professional Tour.
Now let's check our superboat position. It's still Circus Circus. Stephen Dorsich doing a fine job today. Our camera is on board, and they're averaging 108.5 mile an hour, just enough to stay in front. As we look at Powerboat Marine. Russ Wilkin inside the cockpit. He's going to challenge for first before it's over. Art Ekman takes a look at this competitive man.
Russ Wilkin's home is far from any ocean. He's from the farming community of Bluffton, Indiana. He's the developer of hundreds of thousands of acres of corn, wheat, and soybean fields. Wilkin's business, Precision Soya, is located here in the heartland, offering specialized services to the entire world of agriculture.
Well, we're basically what you might determine as a middleman if you were in city language. We produce seed for the major companies and smaller companies also. So everything that we do, all of our work is lost in the brand names of other people's product. So our guys produce all this hybrid seed corn, seed beans, seed wheat for other companies. So we're a contract producer and we sell nothing retail ourselves.
Wilkin's competitiveness is brought to the forefront in offshore racing. Just as in business, Russ relies on his belief in people to be successful.
I believe in putting professional people that are good at their traits together and then asking them, gentlemen, what does it take to win? And more important, can we win if we use your combination? And these people said, yes, we can, and I'm holding them responsible to do their part.
As a successful agribusiness professional, Wilkin makes decisions to ensure the success of his multi-million-dollar company. But on the race course, Russ finds pleasure in tough competition.
Basically, there's people like myself and people like some of these other guys don't get to keep score every day. You don't really know if you're winning or if you're losing. But one nice thing about the end of a race, they'll tell you, you were first, second, or you were third. So this is one of those nice times in your life where when you get done with the challenge of the day, you can actually say, hey, I know how I placed today.
And currently he is running in second place, doing very, very well. Meanwhile, in third place, it is Yoshiro Katami in the Super Hawaii with Mark Beaver at the wheel.
Consistency still hanging in there. Could be very tough at the finish, Jim.
Here is the spirit of the Amazon. Ike Batista not here today. Randy Robinson subbing for him. Running slower than usual. Let's go up to the helicopter and Rich Lewis.
They're running a good 90 miles an hour. They're not going slow by any stretch of the imagination, and they're getting a very, very smooth ride. All the engines are running. That's important. That means that Bobby Moore has some horsepower to spare. The boat looks like it's trimmed perfectly. They don't seem to have any obvious mechanical problems. I just think they're playing a strictly strategy run, going for the finish, going for the points.
Those makeshift engines performing well and consistent.
They had a big Herculean job ahead of them since last week, and it's amazing that the Amazon is running today. Here's your fifth place boat, Hugo Colombo, Jeff Sofer. That port hatch still open, but they're running in fifth place.
Taking a look now at the open class.
Look, we're going to have a challenge. Look at here. Our leader is going to have a battle on his hands.
This is the first challenge for the lead in the open class. Excalibur is led from the green flag. Excalibur on the outside. AES Motorsport has the angle on the inside. Who will come out of that corner with the acceleration?
The man on the inside has the advantage. Now we're looking at Excalibur as the AES Motorsports on the inside is going to take the lead. And for the first time, Excalibur drops back to second, coming very close, and Excalibur ends up in the wash. Alan Shapiro, the driver, very familiar with these waters. He's from Southern California.
Well, yes, this is our home base. I know the California waters real well. I've raced out here many, many years, and I do know how to handle the Pacific swell. I know how to handle the water inside the breakwater, so I feel I do have somewhat of an advantage out here today.
So how do you propose keeping things together and still have the punch?
Well, we're going to keep that boat running real fast today. We're going to run hard in the rough water. We're going to run hard in the smooth water, and I'm just hoping we'll be first across that finish line today.
Will Excalibur come back on, or will they be a bridesmaid once again? We'll have to wait and see as we look at Dirty Laundry. The veteran throttle man Smitty Smith approaches strategy and throttle work with his own ideas and style.
We go about it a little bit different than maybe some of the other people, and I don't know what goes through anybody else's mind, but I was told a long time ago by a real good friend of mine, Bobby Moore, that before you can win a race, you got to finish a race, and Bob's proven that that's correct, and so we always go in there trying to finish. We naturally want to win when we can, but finishing is very, very important.
Finishing is just about everything. As we said earlier, there's little attrition, but we're getting reports now of boats under the pressure and the tough competition. They're starting to drop out.
National points race defines strategy here. AES Motorsports needs a win to put the heat on Dirty Laundry. But Excalibur, as they come on to try to recapture the league, Bob Kaiser's looking for his first win in 3 years. He is hungry. AES Motorsports, though, needs a victory in this race. Look at this battle back and forth.
Here it is. He retakes the lead. Bob Kaiser, Errol Lanier on the gas sticks, and AES Motorsports drops back to second. What a battle and what a show for the spectator fleet along the waters of Long Beach, California. They are in the smooth part of the course, right, Ekman, and just listen to those engines.
Has Bob Kaiser's day finally arrived? He has met one challenge here during the race, but can he hold that boat together?
Here, as we said, is the attrition page. 5 of the superboats have dropped out. 2 in open class and 3 in Pro 1.
One of the 5 leaders on lap number 1 in the Superboat class, Dan Campbell, in his Payless car rental Cobra, is down. Circus leading our Superboat class.
And at a fine speed of 108.5, there's the rest of the top 5. In the open class, AES still leading Excalibur now as they exchange leads, and it's a close race, too close to call. We'll take a look at these aerodynamic beauties, the different hull designs, in just a moment.
Those of you who are familiar with the 2 main types of offshore racing hulls, V-bottoms, also commonly called monohulls, and the catamarans, or cats. Today we're exploring these designs a bit more thoroughly. What may appear at first glance as 2 relatively simple shapes are in reality the result of very sophisticated hydro and aerodynamic engineering. Today's offshore V-bottom is a direct descendant of the Ray Hunt designed Moppy, which turned the racing world on its ear by winning the 1961 Miami-Nassau race. Today's monohull designers, in the face of 100-mile-per-hour speeds and ever-increasing horsepower, are tackling new technological challenges. Because of the lateral stability problem of the V shape, a tendency to rock from side to side, designers incorporated runners or strakes to level the ride. These strakes also provide lift, which can increase speed as well as affect handling. Some of the latest designs employ a pad on the bottom of the V in the rear to provide a planing area at the highest speeds, while retaining as much forward cutting ability as possible. Catamarans tend to react to hull changes much like the V-bottoms, and that the use of strakes and dead rise angles will have similar effects. An interesting point here is the use of steps to break up the planing surface and force portions of the boat up and off the water. The primary area of difference between a cat and a V-bottom is, of course, the wing section of the catamaran. There are two schools of thought on the purpose of the wing. The most common holds that the wing should be a true airfoil and carry a substantial portion of the hull weight. The second school de-emphasizes the wing somewhat in favor of advanced sponson design and a more hydrodynamic approach. While the wider wings provide more lift, the narrow ones cause less drag. The jury is still out on this one, and both approaches have been very, very successful. Finally, tunnel depth is the key to rough water capability, with deeper tunnels allowing larger waves to pass under the boat safely. Greater tunnel depth, however, reduces air compression and lift, which will unfortunately reduce top speed. Over the years, ambitious individuals have attempted to come up with other approaches to hull design with varied success. But so far, the two basics, the cat and the V-bottom, have had the lion's share of the spotlight in the winner's circle.
We're looking at our leader in Superboat, Circus Circus. Getting a good ride today. We're inside the cockpit. This could be their event. Oh, we have a problem with the Challenger Powerboat Marine. Let's go into the cockpit. Let's try to find out what happened.
Got a leak! In the back! We'll be all right. Let's just pump it off.
They're taking on water. You heard the report. But Russ Wilkins said just pump it off. They're going to try to restart.
Super Hawaii in second place in the Superboats. That's Campaign, the red boat at the top of your screen. They're actually one lap down, but it's making for an interesting challenge, a race within a race right here.
Super Hawaii is the only diesel-powered boat. It is a deep V hull. They'll take the turns better. This is the best showing they've had all year.
They're looking for their first victory on the OPT circuit, as is Circus Circus. Oh, that'll be an interesting finish if they can hold together. Spirit of the Amazon taking advantage of the attrition, moving into third place. I have to go back to the words that Smitty Smith told us about. You have to finish to win. Those words of advice coming from the throttle man right there, Bobby Moore.
The Excalibur in first place, the upper left-hand corner of your screen. Here's the AES Motorsports. They've seesawed for the last 22 miles for the lead in open class.
I'll tell you, Jim, you can hiccup in this race and you're going to be behind. It's one of the closest races we've had all year, if not the closest, because right behind these two, Excalibur the Black Boat and AES Motorsports, is Dirty Laundry, the national points leader. This guy won the World Championship last year and the national points total last year, and they're playing coy behind these two great racers.
And look at AES Motorsports. They move up, and look at Errol near the throttle man. He looks to his left. He sees them, applies a little more gas as we look at the Dirty Laundry, who is in third place, as Art said. Joe Mock and Smitty Smith, they are still in the hunt. Don't count them out. Hyperactive, moving up to fourth place. Tom Slemek and David Cutler. And a good-looking boat at that, isn't it, Art?
It really is. They had a strong finish. In fact, they placed third after a great battle with AES Motorsports in San Diego. They turned the fastest lap of that race for open boats, 100.4 miles an hour.
As we look at Pro 1 action, Alan Dunneman, his son Kurt, in the Agitator, leading in Pro 1. But coming up at the top of your screen comes Joe Bashami from St. Clair Shores and his throttle man, Bob Carrick, from Algonac, Michigan. We're going to have a challenge.
Agitator slowing down a bit in the rough stuff, and they're looking over their shoulders right now. Good reason to. Eastern Express. These two had a tremendous battle in the first race of the season at Marathon. It looks like it's a repeat right now, even though Agitator has won every race so far this year in this class.
And they're doing well today. Now looking at Pro 2. Alan Breezer, the driver of record. Rick Doria is the throttle man. But behind the wheel today from Sarasota, Florida, Gus Anastasi, who won last week in San Diego at the wheel.
Splish Splash is leading this race. They're actually number 2 in the national points with Manta number 1 in the national points. What a nice rivalry that's turned out to be. They're running smooth. Look out! Circus is down. They still have a dominating lead. They're trying to find out what the problem is, Jim.
That lead will not last long because here comes Yashiro Katami. John Bruno is out of the Circus, checking on what's wrong, and Yashiro Katami will be coming right by this boat. There he is. You have a new leader in Superboat.
That's got to be so frustrating for Stephen Dorsich, still in the cockpit, as Mark Beaver and Yashiro Katami take over the lead, averaging 102.9 miles an hour in the open class. Excalibur 103.2.
What a battle we've had today, and there are more battles to come. We'll have it all for you from Long Beach after this timeout. Evidently fixed whatever was wrong. He's back. They're going to start the engines.
If they can get that up on plane, the Circus with their tremendous acceleration and speed, they could put a challenge to the consistent effort of Super Hawaii. Super Hawaii was just doing a nice, consistent job the entire race when Circus went down.
They're starting up, and they're about 5 miles behind this, the leader, averaging 105.1 mile an hour, which is Yashiro Katami, Mark Beaver in Super Hawaii.
Can they get the horsepower back, though, to catch them? Here's Excalibur leading the open class.
What a job Bob Kaiser and Errol Lanier have done here today. This may be their day. The pace has told on AES Motorsports, pressing Excalibur for the lead for so long. They came in today's race trailing Dirty Laundry and National High Points by 287. This is going to give a boost to this team in the National High Point race.
Dirty Laundry right where they want. They've just seen AES Motorsports down. That is the boat they kept their eyes on. It puts them closer to the national championship. Here's Super Hawaii still in the lead, holding on to the Superboat class.
We are in the final lap. Super Hawaii, the leader in Superboat of the Circus, is restarted. They're in the hunt. It's going to be close. Can they do it?
They're up to full power. Listen to those engines. That's the same sound we heard from Circus earlier when they had the dominating lead. The question is, do they have enough space? Do they have enough time to catch Super Hawaii before the finish line?
One more left-hand turn for this boat. The Circus, he's got the leader in his gun sight.
And, Jim, it's important that he take the lead before the final turn. Super Hawaii, we saw earlier in the show, can cut those turns very sharply. Acceleration, power right now is the key for Circus.
He's taken the lead. Inside the cockpit, down the shoreline, the checkered flag is in sight.
Let's see how they take that turn now. Stephen Dorsich, the driver. John Bruno, the throttle man. It's all the way down.
He took that turn very smoothly. Yashiro Katami went out wider, and our leader, as the checker flag is waiting, is the Circus. What a race John Bruno and Stephen Dorsich have run today.
Here comes Circus right at our camera boat near the finish line.
What a great recovery. They were dead in the water, restarted, had to make up a 5-mile deficit, and they did it in fine style.
A great sprint to the finish for Circus, winning their first race of the OPT season, their first year in Superboat competition. Look at the amazing thing here. 3rd place for Spirit of the Amazon, the national points leader.
A fine showing for Super Hawaii and a 3rd place finish for the Amazon, and Bud Dry finishes in the top 5. Here's the open class. This is the first time these two boats have challenged. AES Motorsports out. Dirty Laundry is going to challenge the leader, Excalibur.
Bob Kaiser and Errol Lanier and Excalibur looking for their first win in 3 years. We know they've got the speed, but Dirty Laundry was holding back. Looking at the points race, they're looking for their 5th straight win.
The exciting finish, and a talk with all the winners in just a moment.
Driving the Gentry turbos, they just had them covered today.
What chance would it be that the twin casino cousins would win? Circus in one class and you another. Those odds are long.
No, that's good. We got good equipment. We're great crews. We got great sponsors. Last night we had dinner together and we're going to do it. So we're going to get first. You're going to get first. And when I came in and saw him getting that checker flag with me, I said, I was almost in shock. I think I'm still in shock.
Excalibur Hotel Casino, winner of open class here in Long Beach. In the open class, Dirty Laundry still leads the national high points by 374 points after today's action. Now let's go to Art Ekman and the winners in the Superboat class. Art?
Stephen, after all the experimenting, after all the frustrations, what's it like to get the first big one?
Feels great, let me tell you. We worked really hard. This crew, I really have to hand it to him. Marty King, John Bruno on throttles. He's just did a fantastic job. And Circus Hotels and casinos just really pulled us through.
John, you had some problems after lap 9. You lost the lead to Super Hawaii.
Well, the motor, we lost power back there on the left motor, and I couldn't sit still, so I went in the back, and one of the computers, we hit a bump pretty hard, and came unplugged, and I pushed it back in, and it fired up, and I told Steve to hang on. We're going to try to make it a run for it.
And, Stephen, what was it like trying to catch up to Super Hawaii? Because you had some hairy moments.
Yeah, it was. You know, the boat stopped. He jumped in the back, replugged the computer back in, and we had 2 laps there where we really had to work hard to catch up. We took the boat to its optimum, and it was really great.
When you spun out trying to catch him, did you believe that it was all over there?
I thought we were going over. I kept the boat upright. When it starts to hook, it's almost impossible to bring it around, but those Arneson surface drives, I just believe in them. They're great.
On the California swing, a third in San Diego, a first here today in Long Beach gives Stephen Dorsich a move into third place. Spirit of the Amazon still with a 274-point total lead.
Art, it's been a great race here in Long Beach. Now let's take a look at the Florida Keys and Key West key maneuver of the race.
Well, Jim, the key maneuver of the race has to be the comeback on the last lap by Circus to win the Superboat class. After mechanical troubles down in the water, they came back to take Super Hawaii.
Our next race, all the way back across the country to New York for the National Championship race, then on to Key West for the World Championships.
From the 1991 Long Beach Offshore Challenge, this is Art Ekman for Jim Hendrick and Rich Lure saying thanks for being with us. The 1991 OPT Long Beach Offshore Challenge has been sponsored by Bud Dry. Dry brewed so it drinks light, yet satisfies completely. Ultra Slim Fast. Ultra Slim Fast, the safe, healthy way to lose weight fast. And by the Florida Keys and Key West. Now is the time to just let go in the Keys. This is